All right, kids, you know, it's been a while since Hasbro has disappointed us with yet another subpar Nerf product. And this time, I think we better take a look at something that's pretty much guaranteed to suck in pretty much every way. God, I hope it's actually good. For those of you keeping track at home, the Ultra line has got one thing going for it. One very important thing. The darts, pretty much no matter what, will not travel reliably in a straight line. And according to pretty much everybody, that is basically the most important thing when it comes to a foam dart. And for some reason, Hasbro has neglected to accomplish this task. Oh wait, they did several years ago with a thing called AccuStrike. Ultra is supposed to be the latest and greatest, but pinpoint accuracy has already been downgraded to improved accuracy, but of course they don't tell you improved over what. I'll give you a hint, it's not AccuStrike, it's not Rival, it's not Mega, it's the standard Elite dart that has been trashed for years. So, with this review, that's all we're looking for. Dart needs to go straight, more than half the time. We want at least a 60% chance of our dart traveling in a straight line. I'm not even worried about distance at this point. I just want my dart to actually go where I aim it. And with no further delay, allow me to introduce you to the brand new 2021 Nerf product from Ultra that's gonna blow your mind. The NERF Ultra Platinum Amp is what the listing at Target says. This was picked up at Target by my good buddy, Dr. Flux, which if you want to see this thing modded, well, make sure you tune into his channel tomorrow. I will have a link down in the description below because he's already opened one of these up and modded it for your viewing pleasure, and he'll show you exactly what he did and what it does. Powerful speed, extreme distance, improved accuracy. I think all three of those are a lie at this point. Innovative flight tip, lightweight foam, and aerofin technology. Arguably, those are subjective and could not be lies, but they're still practically lies. Maybe. Honestly, we have not fired this yet, so we don't know. So yeah, if you haven't figured it out yet, this is a third flywheeler in the Ultra line. The flywheelers have been practically the worst ones for accuracy, but the Ultra Amp is an SMG. A semi-auto 6-round mag flywheel blaster with integrated sight. Much like the Pharaoh had an integrated scope, the Ultra Amp has an integrated sight that does basically nothing. And a foregrip installed, but wait, what's this at the very end? It's an N-Strike stock attachment point. Well, we're gonna have to put something special there. Again, I don't even really care about this distance, and there's no kids on the front of it to make fun of, but it does boldly say on the side of the box, which I don't think has been a thing in Ultra, but was their gimmick with Alpha Strike, #1 blaster brand. An entire section of the box is dedicated to that statement. #1 in what? I honestly wonder, because it's not power, it's not speed, it's not rate of fire, it's practically nothing that matters other than sales, I would assume. And they show a globe on it, so I'm guessing, where's the flag planted? Oh, in the middle of the ocean off of Greenland. Great. More lies. I'm trying not to be too negative, but I'm also expecting literally nothing. So if my tone changes drastically, you know this thing was actually worth something. How much is it worth right now? Well, it costs $29.95 at the local Target. That's $5 more than the Ultra 2, which is one of the best blasters because even though it wasn't very accurate, and even though it only held 6 darts, you could reload it instantly, it wasn't magazine fed, and the accuracy didn't matter because it was basically a glorified sidearm. This is gonna be a little bit harder of a sell, I think, if it doesn't have darts go flying straight. Have I mentioned that enough yet? Tension! Oh, the darts are located in there. Won't need those. Yeah, we will. And, instructions taped in there? You gonna read these? Nobody's gonna read these. These are gonna go straight on a wall. Maximum ammo of 6. Why does it only come with 1 magazine? Now, I do know for a fact that they are going to be selling Ultra magazine packs, which is great, but again, how much does this really cost you to put out, Hasbro? It's practically nothing. It is a nice little magazine. I'm not gonna lie, this is way cooler than like your standard 6-round mag, from Elite Darts anyway. But would it have literally killed you for $30 to put 2 of these and 12 darts in it? What is the point of having a magazine-fed blaster when the entire point of a magazine is the quick reload? But if I don't have the extra magazine, I have to pull this out, fill it back up, and put it back in, unless I want to spend $30 on another blaster, or hopefully get a magazine kit for it down the road. It's pointless. Please stop doing it. Hasbro, there's one thing I want you to try, and that's not screwing customers. I know that is an alien concept to you, but if you would please just put an extra magazine and darts. Actually, you know what? I don't even care. Don't even put extra darts, just put an extra magazine. I'm fine buying the darts. You made sure there are darts on the shelf right as soon as the blasters came out. But here we are, still can't get upgrades for the magazines yet. Though to be fair, I don't have a Pharaoh on me. I actually gave mine to Luchathor to do dirty things to, but I assume they're the same magazine. They look basically the same. Going over the actual blaster, it looks a little bit different. Here's what 2021 is bringing to the Ultra line. We've got the gold lettering back. It is really loud this time. This is much more eye-popping than what we got previously. Although that could be because of the black outlining here, but otherwise looks quite nice. Now, I'm sure this will scratch up and wear away and just bring itself down to chrome, which is why maybe they call it the Ultra Platinum. I thought maybe they were just gonna get rid of the gold and just put silver there. The grip is, I have small hands. Average hands, but small hands for a man. It is not great. I will tell you that. It is functional, but you can see I'm taking up pretty much the entire grip right here. So if you had man hands, this would not fit you at all. What even is that? Is that a rev trigger for ants? But the actual firing trigger and everything is fine. It's got a mag release, which, you know, it's a little stiff, but I guess it works. Jam clearing door. There is this integrated pinpoint sight looking thing that has no reticle or anything really in it. Well, it's got a piece of plastic in it, but there's no like red dot that shines in it, which would be cool because this is already a battery powered blaster and we can't remove it easily, and that's disappointing. And an integrated foregrip, which is actually extremely comfortable. Works perfectly fine. No muzzle attachment point. Sling attachment point right here, sling attachment point back here, and the all-important N-Strike stock attachment point. I know exactly what I want to put here, and it better work flawlessly. Build up for one part. Fortnite IR stock. It is a different shade of white. My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. Similar setup to the Ultra 2, which means it's gonna be pretty much impossible to get the batteries out once we put them in. In fact, I have a feeling it's gonna be pretty much impossible to put the batteries in. The square thing goes in the round thing, right? It does not come with an apparatus to help you install the batteries. Clearly you guys are not qualified to run this channel. I am superior to you. I don't own an Ultra Amp, but I've never failed to put batteries in anything. Like, we're gonna blame the batteries now?
No, it's the blaster.
The battery is a millimeter too long.
That's why this thing needs a lipo. My thumbs are broken.
Got it.
Got it?
Just gotta be smarter than the battery.
You gotta wedge it in there.
I just pulled the other battery back. Oh yeah, that's balanced. I don't know about you, but it looks like the same old Ultra darts that we've grown to know and love. Clearly the best ammo type that Hasbro has ever invented. Fresh darts, not fired, straight out of the package. Chronograph. $96.7. 96.1, 100.3, 94.4, 102.6, and 95.1. Acceptable, but not mind-blowing in any way. Most important question, do darts go straight? It is raining outside, but science waits for no man. We will, maybe the rain will help them fly straight.
Somewhere along the Oregonian coast, a baby takes his first steps. Family is being reunited, and old friends gather to share the gift of laughter. Here at Out of Darts, we take that feeling and tightly wind it around magnets to make the best and truest motors on the planet. Naturally organic and farm-raised, every Kraken and Valkyrie is expertly wound with a care that will have you reminiscing about Grandma's cobbler. So pull up a chair, grab a screwdriver, let's make a memory. Out of Darts. Welcome home.
I'm sure the raindrops hitting the umbrella are gonna be louder than anything else, but we have a man-sized target out there. We're not gonna keep him waiting. We've loaded this with 5 golden ultra darts, so you can hopefully see the path they take better than anything. We're gonna see if we can actually hit Dr. Flux at range in the rain. Here we go. Say it with me now, darts fly straight. Sorta! Oh my goodness! Well, 1 out of 5, not too bad. Some of them got close. 2 of them went off in any direction it possibly could. Let's do a reload and see what else we can do. Everybody press like and hit subscribe because Dr. Flux is getting soaked for our scientific endeavors. We are reloaded with those 5 darts. They are now sopping wet. Let's see how that affects performance. It might actually improve it. Not even close. Well, they were all consistent in going slightly to the left. We have now swapped Ultra Amps. This one has been blessed by the rains up in Washington. Let's see if it performs any differently. I mean, that could be the batteries, because these ones weren't fresh. These were pulled out of other blasters, but that is just about standard elite. I think those darts are donezo. So one more test with that one. We're gonna use the fresh stock darts and see if we can't actually see where they go. I want to remind the audience at home that Dr. Flux volunteered to stand out in the rain for us today. So one final test. Ultra Amp with the darts it came with. I wanted to avoid using these because they're impossible to hit marker, but we have a target, so let's see. Hold on, let me aim like this. No? Maybe? Yeah, this is not impressive at all. This is about what you'd expect. Corporate wants you to find the difference between these 2 blasters. They're the same blaster. Holding these things side by side, it's painfully obvious that the Ultra Amp is essentially the Ultra version of the Stryfe. In fact, they're about the same width. The only real difference is if I bring them to the same stock attachment point, the Stryfe is only slightly shorter than the Ultra Amp. And I'd hate to admit it, but the Ultra Amp actually looks really cool. But this is a $30 blaster. The closest thing would be the Ultra 2, which was a $25 blaster, but that was fixed at 6 shots. This is 6 shots, and it is substantially bigger than the Ultra 2, but it has detachable magazines, and if you already have a Pharaoh, well, you have an extra magazine for it. And my firing footage, although that was pouring down rain at the time, was about what I'd expect from an Ultra Flywheeler. It was maybe a little less crazy than normal, but it was still pretty inaccurate, although we had a couple of shots that went perfectly straight and potentially went past rival ranges. And that was without really trying to get a big angle or anything on it, and that's kind of where this blaster could potentially make its use case. $30 for something stock that could very easily clear way past rival ranges with a good shot that you could easily just have at your side slung around you as a secondary or something like that, yeah, you'd be dealing with basically RNG to hit your target at range. But if you just wanted to whip this thing up, rattle a couple of shots off with it, or dump a magazine and put it back, you'd be good to go. And with that kind of range from a stock blaster, there is a use case for that, especially when you could very easily just swap out magazines and get back into the action, unlike the Ultra 2 where you would have to reload one at a time, which I personally prefer, but it's a different use case for something like this than it is the Ultra 2, and this may scratch the itch that the Ultra 2 may have left you. And I guess the word I'm looking for here is inoffensive. It could have been so much worse, but it's actually not that bad. It's still something that you would really have to want to pay money for and take that risk, because for most people, especially those who watch this channel, you're just going to be more interested in something like the Dart Zone Spectrum, which is compatible with all the magazines you probably already own, shoots foam darts, and would hit about as hard as this, if not a little bit harder, with standard foam darts as opposed to expensive Ultra darts, and will be much more accurate for $5 less. So really, if you can get your hands on something like that, you might be better off just getting one of those, unfortunately, if you're looking for a dedicated flywheeler. But if your game or mode has any use for Ultra darts at all, this is a pretty compelling argument. You could certainly do worse than the Ultra Amp, but it's also not something that you need to go out there and rush to buy right now. There doesn't seem to be any secret use for this blaster at the moment, and I can only imagine what more will come once we finally get an Ultra full auto blaster, which is obviously going to be coming sooner than later at the rate they're pumping out Ultra blasters. So for that, I'm going to give it a pretty middling recommendation. You could definitely do worse, especially in Ultra, but the Ultra Amp is also nothing that I feel like, unless you absolutely love the look of this thing, you're gonna want to pick up. If you got one like gifted to you, I don't think you would be too upset. It does look really cool, and it functions pretty standardly for Ultra. But the biggest problem that I'm going to keep bringing up, Hasbro, these darts need to have something done with them because they need to go straight. It could be worse, and that's the most surprising thing. I'm Walcom S7, thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and watched all the way to the end, please hit that like button, please hit subscribe and the bell, because we have a lot more coming. I have some huge plans in 2021. We haven't even started yet, but you'll start seeing them very, very soon. Thank you very much, and of course, I hope to see you in an entirely different video.
You gotta up,